Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the Social Game Podcast. I'm Kellie Nalbandian. I'm joined by Michele Fitzgerald.
I am her.
I am her. First, we're going to get a few things out of the way. Just remember, if you want to see more of us, go to thesocialgamepod.com to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, blah, blah, blah. And follow us on Instagram, basically, more importantly, at the Social Game Pod. That's how you'll hit all our updates.
Yeah, we are legitimate. We have a website. We just found that out
5 minutes ago, maybe.
And make sure to subscribe to us. We're excited. We are on the journey with you somehow, some way. Your life has taken a wild turn and it landed you at our podcast. If you are confused that we have a podcast, so are we.
It just sort of, happened out of thin air, but I love it. That's how it should happen.
It really did. Me and Kellie barely knew each other mere weeks ago. We pitched a podcast and here we are.
I got shot down. We have this one.
Right. So this is actually a backup podcast. We were failures at our first podcast pitch and Rob gave us the consolation prize of this wild podcast rather than what we were really going for. But
which we plan to make him regret immediately.
He's given us a lot. He's given us a long leash for what this podcast would be about.
Brain.
Yeah. And we plan on abusing that to the full length that we can. Our goal is to make Rob as stressed out as possible. So, Rob usually has a lot of strategy podcasts. He talks about dissecting games and why you made certain moves. And we are here to do none of that. We are going to have great guests on. We're going to play fun games. And really the goal is to let ourselves shine, obviously, more importantly, our guests who are going to come on here and we're going to absolutely shock them, confuse them, and leave them.
Bamboozle them.
Yeah. We're gonna leave them richer than they came in.
Yeah, it's like everybody, there's so much strategy talk and what RHAP needs is vibes. And that is what Michele and I can bring to the table. So should we talk about how this even happened?
Talk about it, Kellie.
So, Michele is very elusive, I would say, in the Survivor world these days. Yes. Yes.
I've never been told that I was elusive ever. If anything, I am way too accessible. I make myself accessible to basically anyone and everyone.
Okay, elusive to me. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Me, I'm in New York City. I am so excited to be on Survivor. Never meet you at any of these events because Michele doesn't really watch the new era of Survivor.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but I'm not a one-trick pony. I'm actually also on The Challenge, which airs the exact same time on a competing network. So unfortunately, I really have to try to amp up my ratings and tune in live to my show that I'm currently on. Doesn't make me not a Survivor fan, but
I'm not accusing you of not being a Survivor fan.
Here's the thing. Most people would never say I'm elusive. I'm available on every single Wednesday for the past 4 years of your life. But if you have not gotten enough of me, I will be sure.
So that's why we have this podcast, because we don't have enough for Michele Fitzgerald on every single network on TV. She's coming for the summit next.
Yeah. And back to our intentional,
original thing.
The story.
What I'm saying is, I never met Michele. And so where would I find her? Absolutely. Of course, a Summit CBS event, the hit CBS show, The Summit, which Michele was tapped to host.
So I didn't know I was hosting. I didn't know I was hosting. They had asked if I could attend this event. I usually say no because they don't pay me, and usually there's not free alcohol. I found out that there was time open bar. So I said, you know what? I can run up the tab enough to basically be considered a paycheck.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, sure, I'll go. And the day before, maybe even the day out, they're like, we would love you to host it. I'm like, really? I'm like, Jesus, I haven't even watched the screener you sent me. I don't know what I'm doing. So somehow I got tasked with this role. And
you crushed it.
I did something.
Yeah. They brought up the contestants, in front of the screener, which was like a bunch of CBS reality people. And then I'm not really sure who else was there, but you interviewed them and you had set questions. But she went off script.
I did.
And it was very entertaining. We had a very spicy panel from the summit.
Yeah, mainly because I can't read. So I just decided I was going to just make up my own notes.
And at that moment, I knew I loved Michele. And so after that, as these events are, once you're done with that part, we all went out to a gay bar.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Where else would we go? And, that was our first meeting bonding experience. And the rest is really history. But
well, is it? Because they don't know our history, which is why we're here on this podcast. Okay, so
I'm being elusive now.
Yeah, she's the elusive one. She went to Yale, guys. I don't know if you know this. So
I don't brag about it ever.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. She has a full-time job, and I am a mere reality TV contestant. She's a logistical person here. Challengers don't have jobs. We just
working out.
So basically, yes, I was hosting this event. As I mentioned, I was using the open bar as my tab, and I was really just milking it for all it was worth. Mm-hmm. And I found Kellie at the bar as well, and we seem to have similar interests in wine and alcohol. So we just got on a roll. We started talking about the summit, our newfound passion.
Really, Bo.
After a few vodka sodas, we decided to text Rob from Rob Has a Podcast and say we would love to start a summit podcast, not knowing that Rob had already
had a summit. It was like coming out, so it makes sense that Rob is prepared to have a summit.
He hired people who were actually equipped for the job.
Yeah,
unlike us. And
we had the passion.
The passion was there, and somehow, some way, Rob said, "Well, why don't I do something, where nobody will tune in because it doesn't really have
there's no
theme,
no show.
It's just us. It's just us." So he gave us the gift of just being able to do whatever the fuck we want, and that is our plan. And so, welcome. This is our byproduct of a night out at a gay bar.
It is us two narcissists on reality TV being like, we should have a podcast.
Yeah,
we're so funny.
Okay, well, cheers. Anyway. Episode 1, we have our champagne. Cheers.
Ooh,
that was nice.
That was
something.
Maybe we'll do ASMR after this.
Yeah. My goal today is to get Kellie a little bit tipsy so that she really opens up on episode 1. Let's really get to know Kellie.
No, let's get to know Michelle. You're very elusive, as I've said. So I need to know more about you.
Yeah, well, we do have some fun games in store. That is our goal. We want to make it fun. We want to learn about each other.
Yes.
About our guests.
I feel like, so many people go on reality TV and they're so interesting and fun. And they come on the podcast and, of course, you have to talk about the game, blah, blah, blah. But now it's like, do I need to know about how much money was in the deal or no deal case that party just picked? I don't know. I'd rather talk to her and play a funny game and mess around. So that's going to be the plan.
Yeah. Like I've heard that she has all these black spider qualities or whatever she says. I hear that she's, isn't that what she says?
Black Widow?
Black Widow, spider, she casts webs. Who the fuck knows? Anyways, she has all these qualities. I want to learn.
Yeah, we're going to bring spiders on the podcast.
Teach us how to flirt.
Do you think we need to learn that? I feel like we're pretty good.
I mean, I'm seasoned. I feel like I've dipped my toe into every reality TV dating pool there is. So for me,
she said it, not me.
But there's always something you can learn. I think Parv has a lot to teach us.
She has the most to teach us. Absolutely.
But we're gonna have such fun guests. Our lineups are insane. We're praying that they don't hear this first episode and back out because they're like, we don't want to be part of this shitstorm, this shit show, shitstorm.
But disaster. It's just vibes. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
We are gonna jump right in. We've already annoyed you guys enough with the chatter, so we're gonna play some games. I feel like every other episode is going to kind of be me and Kellie sort of introing, and then we're going to intro our guests and we're going to play games with them. Today, it's about learning about your hosts. We're going to learn about each other. We've hung out 4 times, I think. Yeah.
They've been great every time.
Every time there's just magic in the air.
Chemistry, amazing. Rob is frothing at the mouth.
Yeah.
So here we are, time 5. And we thought we could learn a little more about each other by playing a game. And the wizard behind the screen over here, Mr. Brandon Donlin, has prepared for us based on an autocomplete interview, if you're familiar with that. Michelle was not. So basically, real celebrities, not us, will play this game where we'll look up what are people Googling about anyone. And we're going to talk about it, spit some facts, put the truth out there. Do you want to start, Michelle?
Okay, so the Google search here
is Survivor Michelle. Her little face is so cute.
I'm so young and naive at that point.
Spry and not a millionaire.
Yeah, she was broke. Yeah. She had about $9 in her bank account. She had no idea that her life was going to take such a turn that now she fights on reality TV for a living. I had my big hopes and dreams at that point.
You made it happen.
You can see the sparkle in her eyes before she was tainted by 7 seasons of reality TV beating her down. Okay, so what do people want to know about Michele, Survivor Michele?
Survivor Michele. Oh, starting off real strong.
Controversial win.
Controversial. How do you feel about that one?
You know, a win is a win. I have $1 million in my bank account, but I will say what I've learned from reality TV in general is that sometimes when you win, it feels like a loss, and sometimes when you lose, it feels like a win. And that was my win for me. I'm very poetic, you know.
No, that was good. That was your win for you. I was like, if you're gonna say like I felt like I lost, I was like, oh
no. But I in some ways, it was like for me the biggest moment of my life. I was 24 years old. I was so green. I really didn't even know what a confessional was, and I just went in and I like played my heart out. And I thought that the narrative would reflect that. But it was telling other people's stories. And so I felt like when I watched it back, I was like, oh my God, what am I doing here? Did I even deserve this? And a lot of people didn't believe that I did. I was insecure about the win in general. And it's taken me a long process and a lot of therapy to learn that, you know, it doesn't matter what people say. I should be proud of that moment, but I didn't feel proud in the moment. So it was very controversial. People still talk about it. But yeah, I don't look at the Reddit threads anymore. So that has helped me.
You got to teach me about
Get
that.
off Reddit is what I've
Survivor
learned.
Michele Reddit
I've learned
the next.
Is it?
Yeah.
No freaking way. I've learned how to invest money properly and how to avoid Survivor Reddit. That's what I've learned from my time.
And that's actually better than $1 million.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Okay. You want to continue
Michele
on here?
Survivor. Ex-boyfriend. Well, you'll hear me talk about them a lot. Which one? Which one?
I don't know.
Okay.
Who's your favorite?
Oh, well, they're all exes for a reason. I'll tell you that much. Listen, I have said it before and I'll say it again. I came on to the show. I was flirty and thriving and young and naive. And I thought that casting's whole role was to put me on the show with a bunch of hot people so that I could end up with one of them. Turns out that was not what Survivor's about.
But you made it into both winning $1 million and a dating show. Not on your season. Or actually, maybe we don't have to go there. I don't know.
I've dated a lot of people on the challenge, on Survivor, and I found that a lot of them, what they have in common is that they are narcissists. And yeah, you can't put two narcissists in a relationship together. It just doesn't work. Spoiler alert. No, but I will say, if you want to find love, go on Survivor and the challenge. And
perfect. That's flawless advice from Michele.
Okay, do yours now.
You need a break from mine.
I've derailed everything.
Okay. You're doing amazing, sweetie.
What's the Google search? Is Kellie from Survivor blank?
Gay. Yes, I am. Despite what the show said, I am in fact gay. Never mentioned on it once. So my DMs would disagree. It's heavily in my hidden section is heavily men.
Interesting.
Very upsetting. Always upset every time I post, anything about women. I lose a few followers. It is what it is.
Well, I love the gays, so that we're really on track.
We met at the gay bar.
I know. We're on track here. I will say that when I told my friend who I was doing a podcast with you, he was like, "Oh my God, I have the biggest crush on her," and I was like, "Do I tell him? Do I break the news? Do I break the news that she likes V, not D?"
Well, I'm still like appreciative that people,
You're appreciative of the D.
No, okay, I'm going to be on record absolutely not appreciative of.
Have you ever been appreciative of the
No,
D?
I never have.
Really?
Never once.
A V girl forever.
Mm-hmm. They call that a gold star.
Yeah. Really?
That's a real thing. Gold star lesbian, never slept with a man.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you ever done anything else with the guy?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's really like a silver star. Let's.
Well, not everybody can be winners on this.
Let's call it what it is, right?
All right, pretty close. Listen, it was a long time ago. It was like 18, 2019. I was sad one time.
Leave the D to me, honey.
Yeah, I will. Well,
Okay.
Next one.
Is Kellie from Survivor 45?
Oh, no, I can't get it. Married. Well, probably should be, but not yet. October. We got engaged like right before. I was the alternate for season 43. I don't know if you even know that.
No.
Yeah. So I applied really late, and then they were like, "You're late. We love you." Anyway, I went like to Fiji after like getting the first call probably like a month before. So it was crazy. I had just been proposed to. This was 2022. So we're getting married in 2025. I have a patient saint.
Yes.
Of a fiance, girlfriend. So not yet, but I will be married soon. Maybe I'll be there.
I better
want to
be
get
there.
invited?
We're going through so much together. We're going through so much together.
The seventh time we hang out will be at my wedding.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It is open bar, right?
It is open bar.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
I'm sorry, but if you are somebody who's on here and you had a wedding without an open bar, this is not the podcast.
Literally, when we're talking about what we want to do for our wedding, it's like, it has to be an open bar. The playlist is like, we're being like very strict.
Yes.
Like, that's all I care about.
As you should.
It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
3 years in, like this 3 years of planning.
Is there a dress code?
It's not black tie.
All right. Now we're talking. Hike up the skirts, ladies.
Oh, yeah.
She's off the market, but there will be somebody available. So there will be survivors there for you. So
yeah, actually, Michelle is going to facilitate a survivor dating show at my wedding.
Yeah.
Gabby doesn't know this yet.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fine. It's going to be great.
We'll
give you the mic for a speech. Everyone will think, you're one of my bridesmaids who I've hung out with now 7 times, and tables will turn.
I do love a mic.
Yeah. There will be a lot of survivors there. And, who knows? Other people. Okay. Did we finish this one?
Yes, that one's done.
No one needs to know how old I am. Not that old.
I know. Like,
should we go back to Michelle?
Yeah, let's circle back.
Okay. So many good ones on here.
Is Michelle from the challenge?
Do you want to take that one off?
How tall is Michelle from the challenge?
Wow. Everyone wants to know.
The world is weighted with bated breath over how tall I am.
Said you're elusive.
It's so strange because I feel like this happens when I meet like so many survivors or challenge people in real life, and you just have this perception of how big they are. Like, I thought Andrea Belke was going to be a totally different build than she was. She's much smaller than I thought. People who watch the challenge look at all the big girls and they think that I'm really, really tiny. And then you met me and
when I met Michelle, I was like,
I was bigger than you.
I thought you were going to be I thought you were tall.
You thought I was tall. Okay.
Because I don't know. I think because like the way you kick over the puzzle and stuff.
Yeah.
Just gives
big aura.
Tall girl energy.
Okay. Well, I'm a classic 5'5". So I feel like I'm 5'5".
You are?
Yes.
So you're still tall. I'm 5'4". I thought we were the same height.
No. I'm 5'5", honey. And that's a nice clean number. My birthday is May 5th, 5'5", 90. I'm 5'5".
Wow.
I weigh 100. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to get into that. Not going to get into that. But I do love a clean number. And just know if it ends on an odd or even, if it ends on anything but a 5, I will diet until I hit the 5. I'm OCD.
Wow. Okay. I mean, effective, I guess.
I know. If I bet, if I gamble, everything.
So what season? This is season 40 of the challenge?
It is.
You should have been on I was on season 45. So you should have been on my season. I mean, I didn't need it.
I had a lot of clean numbers, but then they threw in 32 and I was like, the fuck? Turns out I needed something that wasn't clean.
Just a little controversial.
Exactly. Okay. Well, there you go. For all of you people who have been just waiting for that answer.
It has been debunked.
Honestly, so many.
I was disappointed too. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually thrilled. It's great.
There will be a theme that there's a lot of disappointment.
It's more impressive. I was like, oh, she's tall. Of course she's good at challenges.
Yeah.
All
right, let's get back
to it. All right, we'll finish me here.
Turns out there's a lot of survivor Kellies.
You don't know this? Think how many name another Kellie on Survivor.
One, duh.
Okay, any others? I don't know if I could. Oh, yes, I could.
I'm trying a blank.
Is that the Jeopardy noise? Was Purple Kellie?
Oh my God. Infamous
Purple Kellie. I wore a purple shirt I didn't think about this because I was not clocked into the Survivor fandom before I went on Survivor. And I wore like a purple shirt in my cast photo and everybody's like, bold choice, Purple Kellie. I was like, I'm reclaiming.
Isn't it so interesting, like how deep the fandom goes, not just on Survivor, but also I feel on the challenge, like people know everything about everything. Mm-hmm. It's so crazy. Like, they know how many confessionals everybody has.
I didn't know any of this. And because I was the alternate.
Of course I don't know.
I started I was like, okay, let me listen to some RHAP. Let me look around. I asked my casting person, what should I do? Just a little jarring.
It's a lot.
And then I think I was overstimulated with information before I went out there. I probably should have just.
I like intentionally never rewatched anything before I went on it. So like when I entered my first season of Survivor, I had never rewatched anything to prep myself. I was like, I want to go in and I want to be like authentic. I felt if I had watched another season, I would act like somebody else. And I'd be like, oh, I have to emulate so-and-so. So I wanted to keep it as pure as possible. So I intentionally did not watch anything. And
that's nice.
It is. I could have learned something by watching it back and like learning how people interview, like what's interesting and dynamic. And like, I do think that that's an easy way to get purpled is like not knowing how to do that, jump off the screen.
No.
So I think I probably could have done with a little bit more research in that department, but I think going in authentically, like,
but you were like watching Survivor like consistently when you went on, or no?
I had watched it basically my whole like childhood, but I didn't have, by the time I got on, I don't even think I had a TV. I was like, I really was not super on top of it.
Love that. Amazing.
Yeah, I
didn't watch till the pandemic. So I was like,
oh my God,
very green. I'm fresh. Yeah. So I was like, COVID nursing, going home, being like, let me go watch Michelle.
Oh my God.
But I applied, little me. I applied and I was like watching old seasons. And I was like, oh, whatever. This is great. Like, I want to do this. And they called me and it was during season 41. So New Era had just started. I hadn't seen anything. I was in the middle of your season and I had to stop. Caitlin was like, you have to watch season 41 and 40 like this weekend now. And so I was like, what the hell am I getting into? But then I went back and then when I was like finishing casting, I was watching you win. I remember.
Oh my God. I remember the season I was watching as well. I think it was Cagayan. I know it was Cagayan. Nice. When I was like, you always remember the one that you leave on because you're watching it a little bit more intensely.
Yes. I was actually just gotten engaged. I was in this, I remember being in this hotel room in San Diego and I like vividly remember seeing you on my TV. Here we are now.
Yeah. Here we are. The way life throws us curveballs.
Anyway, we've successfully survived our first derailment here.
I love that.
We're going to go back to the game, I think. I forgot about it. Okay, anyway. There have been 14 Kellies on Survivor. So if I search myself, it's kind of hard. You never know who they're talking about, which maybe like can help me protect my ego a little bit. They're probably talking about someone else named Kellie.
Yeah, of course.
But I do spell my name with an IE.
Sadly, when they look me up and they comment on my voice or all of my controversial, I know exactly what they're talking about. There's not enough Michelles to cover up the trauma of my Reddit history.
I just think, there's a few Michelles, but not 14 Kellies. It defies probability.
It really does.
It sucks. But at least I have my name spelled weird. Thank you, parents.
If you're pregnant and you're thinking about naming your child after a Survivor, Kellie seems like a fair bet. You can appease a lot of people.
Yeah, actually, if you want to get on Survivor or you want your child to get on Survivor, you should name them Kellie.
Yeah.
Preferably not the IE because I would like to stay the only one.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. This is Survivor Kellie psychologist. I'm not a psychologist. I think this might be about Survivor Australia Kellie.
Tough.
Who I believe.
One of 14 guys.
That's actually another one.
It's not about you.
That's the Australian. That's another. That's probably like 15 if we count her.
Oh no. You're becoming more and more diluted. The more you talk, it's really sad. I feel for you, honey.
I'm glad you're enjoying this. I feel your empathy radiating across the couch. Anyway, I'm not a psychologist. I am a nurse. I'm actually a nurse practitioner now. I'm starting a new job in March. Amazing.
Congrats.
Great. Do you know what that is?
No. But what I do know is that if anything's like cussing or acting funny, you're going to be the person I text.
Yeah, no problem. I field many bizarre texts. I nursed on Survivor. I had to try to pass out twice. So.
Wow. I feel you're going to come in handy in my life.
Yeah. No problem.
I feel
don't
like
call 911. Actually, no, do call 911. Don't listen to me. Don't call me.
Giving sage advice out.
Don't call me. But yeah, anyway, nurse practitioner, they like see patients like a doctor. It's like a PA, if you know a PA.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. So I'm doing cardiology. So.
Oh my God.
Mostly heart problems. Yeah.
She's a woman of the heart. She's stolen mine.
Oh,
check it. Oh,
I should get my stethoscope.
Yeah, it's beating so fast for you, Kellie.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Anyway, whatever. All right, let's do this last one. Kellie would not be talking about me and Survivor if we didn't talk about What the Hell, guys. Have you heard about this?
No. What the hell?
So this is great. Yeah, see, this is how little Michelle knows about me is that she hasn't seen pretty much what I'm known for Survivor, which is my blindside. Got viciously blindsided a little early, clocked before I wanted to, and blacked out the entire tribal council. Don't remember anything I said. I got up and I looked at everybody. First, I said, "You did this." People say it's kind of like Michaela from a little like Michaela's like angry. I am sad. I'm definitely giving sad. But I just go, "What the hell, guys?"
Defeated.
Yeah, everyone, I'm sad. I accused 2 people. You did this. You did this. And then I'm like, do you know that there's a sound on TikTok right now that's like, "Are you kidding me? I need to calm down." That's basically what happened to me in real time. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm on TV and I need to not freak out." And then I was like, "Oh my God, I'm just shocked." Everyone stood up hugging. It's like silent, like so awkward. I forgot my torch.
Oh,
yeah,
honey.
It was tough.
It's getting worse.
What? Yeah, it was. There was actually worse thing that didn't make the edit, but it's okay. We don't need to talk about that. And everyone really took to what the hell, guys. People loved it, but I did not remember saying it. I had to be told 3 or 4 days later. And they were like, we were like signing a flag for something. And they were like, what? We're like, let's write our little things. And they were like, oh, you have to write what the hell, guys. I was like, what do you mean? No recollection.
I feel like you black out in those moments. Like,
I mean, you wouldn't know.
So I've heard that when you get voted out. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. I feel like every tribal council, I have said things like, that's a bunch of malarkey to me. You know, I say a lot of shit when you're under the pressure. Yeah, I know.
You don't text me like a malarkey girl.
I'm very cultured. Okay. I say a lot of big words. Culture? I might not have, I don't know. I may not have gone to Yale, but I know the term malarkey. Okay, Kelly?
I'm not saying you don't know it. I'm just like, I would be surprised that you would use
that. Of course, because it's a term that 85-year-olds use.
Yeah.
I was also confused when I heard that I said that. Okay. I was very confused, but that's what I'm saying.
You say stuff and you're like, well, what the hell?
You black out, you say things. You don't even know you say them. You watch them back and you're like, I guess something takes over you. So you can't be blamed for anything that happens.
And I don't know if you haven't seen the new. So it was very much like before season 45, not everybody, but it was very much like people get voted out and be like, oh, good game, guys.
Ew.
You got me.
What?
So people were like, I was nervous because everyone was being so like sportsmanlike and I was not. And I was like, really, I was like, things were going well. And then they were really not all of a sudden. And so I was bummed. Like I was really like, of course I'm here to win, dude. Like whatever. So everyone was really happy actually in the end that I kind of brought back being allowed to be mad at tribal. And now we've had several shout out to our future guest, people who are really upset when they leave.
That's the sound of me pouring more champagne for this story.
Can you hear that? Can you
hear the sound of me pouring more champagne for this tale?
Yeah.
Listen,
I think piping. But yeah, no,
it is piping. I'm riveting.
I'm the poster child for like being annoyed when you're voted out.
And I think you should be annoyed. I think more people should be annoyed. I hear that for season 50, Jeff is casting people who aren't annoyed. They don't show even a semblance of annoyance. And you know what? I don't know. The backbone of reality TV is built on people being annoyed. That's what's interesting. You know, you're supposed to be annoyed. You're supposed to be uncomfortable. You're supposed to hate your life and hate everybody else for all the decisions that they made that are selfishly good for them and terrible for you.
Exactly.
I mean,
you know what? Like good merch line for me. It's all good.
The challenge, what I've learned, is all about being bitter, and you can carry that bitterness. It's acceptable to carry that bitterness.
That's a career
for years. You can actually, any decision you make, you can circle back to bitterness from years ago and sit and channel that.
I'm just taking notes here, guys.
Weapon. Yeah. And so that's the difference, is that bitterness is in the blood of the challengers. That's why, I've shifted.
You've crossed over to the other side, the dark side.
I live half and half, but I am a petty bitch. And I do believe that being petty is
okay.
If somebody deprives you of $1 million,
you should be
You're
mad.
not supposed to be like, good game, fellas.
Yes, that's how I'm at.
Golly, I wish I played better.
What do you think?
You fucking suck. Go suck a big fat one.
Okay, great. I was going to ask you, what do you think you would say if you were voted up? But maybe we just heard it.
I don't know. I think
it depends where you go to. I feel like if I went later, like I was a second juror. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you made jury.
I made jury.
You're dateable. Well, we know you're getting married, but whoever
like initiated that?
Kat Ederson or something.
Oh, yeah.
She was.
Wow, nice Survivor knowledge there,
God,
Michelle.
Honey, the thing you don't know about me is pre-season 32, I know everything.
Oh,
not everything.
That sounds
Please
like
don't test
a
me.
challenge. Yeah.
Nope, it's not. But I do remember.
On the next episode.
I do obviously remember somebody who says, well, I have to, as somebody who's dated half of all of single eligible people on reality television, I have to know that to make them, I just knew that I had to make the jury in order to be dateable. So for me, that was my marker.
Mm-hmm. The Survivor hinge, there's like, it has to say like made the jury.
So actually, once I made the jury, I was like, well, I've done all I've needed to do here. And then they just kept me at the end and I won. So it was crazy.
It's controversial. Do you get like vote? I'm sorry. I don't know. Do you get like voted out? You like lose challenges on the challenge you get voted out, or like?
There's like multiple ways. The format always sort of changes. That's what makes it different than Survivor, is that it's unpredictable in its
I've only seen the Challenge USA and one other season.
Okay, yeah. Well,
I'm getting inducted. I'll watch the finale tonight.
And Survivor USA is a great one to introduce you to because it has like your favorites from other CBS shows, which it definitely has more strategy, I would say, than like a regular traditional one. But the truth is like the interesting part about the challenge is that you can get voted into elimination, but you also can save yourself at the end. It's like you get voted. That. Yeah. So there's a certain amount of your fate is in your own hands.
Okay. So you like play another. You're like nominated and you play like another challenge.
Exactly. So there's a bit more chances to get yourself out of a sticky sitch.
Yeah, that sounds fun. When you're like facing off against somebody else.
The face off.
Yeah. I've seen you do some math.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I certainly have.
Don't need to go to Yale for that.
I didn't have to go to Yale. Community college all the way, baby. Ever heard of it? Ever heard of community college, bitch?
Don't do this to me right now.
Maybe you would have won Survivor.
Me as a bad.
I'm just totally kidding.
I went to nursing school at Yale. Okay, it's not like real Yale. Not to discount my nursing school. I'm very grateful for.
I will say, if I went to Yale at all, I would only wear Yale sweatshirts, Yale hats. I would have Yale booty shorts on the back.
Booty shorts.
Do they make those? Yale? I don't know, but I would wear Yale merch. All day.
Next episode, I will come fully decked out in Yale booty shorts, and I will bring some for
somebody from Yale. So I expect all the merch as well. Like they could be like, "Did you go to Yale?" I'd be like, "No," but I support my podcast host who did go to Yale.
Went to Yale, already graduated. Like it
would be my intro to everything. I'd be like, "Hi, I'm Michelle. I went to Yale, and I was also on Survivor one time." Like it would be, Yale would be
the second to Survivor. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I would be very proud if I were you. But now look where your life's led you. So I
went to a couch in Hoboken. We're gonna do something really fun, and I'm gonna test Michelle.
Yeah, well, that sounds fun.
Cheers.
Does this sound like that to you guys? Because it sounds really nice and mine.
Oh, you think it's good? I thought it was.
Yeah, let's do it again.
You want to do it like gentler?
Maybe a little gentler.
All right, guys, we're back. And as you know, Michelle has never seen the new era of Survivor, which personally broke my heart when I met her. And so now I'm going to share that love. And today we're going to bring on an amazing group of icons, living legends that somehow Michelle has never maybe heard of. And yeah, we're going to give her about 2 minutes to question them, talk to them, or, if they want to talk over us, that's fine. And she will have to decide, were they in fact on New Era Survivor, or are they a decoy of some sort?
Okay.
You up to the challenge?
I'm ready. I've got questions locked up in the arsenal.
Okay.
I'm ready. I do apologize in advance to everybody who I don't know. And I just want to say, listen, it's PTSD enough to go experience this. Watching it back, tough, man. So it's not you, it's me, And just know,
that's what they all say.
Yeah. Just know I support you and I'm proud of you, however you placed.
But all Survivor players need their egos brought down just a little bit. So we are here to do that today. Anyway, why don't we start with our first ever technical guest on this podcast. Wow, what an honor.
Oh my God. Let's go.
Bring him in. Oh, there he is. All right.
What's up?
Dave.
Hey, how's it going? Dave, 24, slot machine salesman, and I like long walks on the beach.
Michelle does have a boyfriend.
I have been known to take long walks on the beach as well. But the question here is that, did you take them in Fiji? That's the question.
I would say my walks were short on the beach. You know, I didn't like to be on the beach often. I like to chill in the shelter on the bamboo.
I see. And so, sorry, what's your Dave? Okay, Dave. Where exactly did you go to the bathroom when you were on Survivor?
I so everyone would normally go in the ocean, but I would choose to go in the wilderness.
Oh, the wilderness. I see.
And then I would
okay. And what did you call the area in the wilderness that you went to the bathroom?
Dave's dungeon.
Oh, okay. Well, it's called Coconut Grove, Dave. So you either got voted off first or you were not on Survivor.
No, I was on for sure. It's just like
tell me a little bit about your experience on Survivor. Like, what happened to you?
So basically, I did not get along with my initial tribe. And then I was like throwing objects and shit that they had. And Jeff didn't like me and I got voted out.
Wow. Tale as old as time, Dave. Okay, well, I love your accent. I think that usually goes a pretty long way with casting.
I have an accent?
You certainly do. Where are you from?
I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, but my family's from Memphis, if that's what you're hearing.
Sorry. Okay. What did you...
What does his byline say?
What season were you on?
The New Era.
What one?
The New Era.
Number
46.
46. Fuck, I really want to know.
Well, you're about to find out once you decide.
I think that you... I think that you were. I think you maybe went out a little bit, but your plot is just not clicking. Okay, no, you weren't. You weren't on
Final
Survivor.
answer?
Final answer, you weren't.
Unfortunately, Michelle, he was on Survivor.
So wait, you
I won season 46. I was the winner.
No, he's fucking with you.
Oh, holy shit. I was like, I thought I knew the winners. Okay.
I was the first one voted out, unfortunately, for the audience's sake.
Yeah,
wait, you were the first person?
And he goes by Jalinski. So Dave was really shocking to me.
Okay, so here's the thing, Jalinski. The only reason I guess no is because there was a few things that it makes sense that if you were gone earlier, but sir, were you really throwing things? Was that your...
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, I didn't even think about that when I did it. I hate to say it. I just asked one of my tribe mates, I said, bro, should I throw this? He was like, yeah. I just did it for fun.
It's like in the beginning of the New Era, we have to like earn our supplies. Okay. And so he volunteered to earn the supplies. And there was an hourglass. And he's basically like, screw this, and threw the hourglass on the beach, like day one. That's his touch for...
Like fellow Survivor contestants, they actually got to smash it, you know? So when I did it, it ended up being a big deal and everyone was upset with me. But, you know, there were some things I threw in there, Michelle, to throw you off on purpose. So.
Okay. Well, you know what? I will watch, since I barely have to apply myself to watch your episode. I promise I will watch your episode.
Well, here's the thing, Michelle, the Legend of Jalinski, you have to watch more than episode 1 because I make it all the way through the finale.
Yeah, we will have to fill you in. Jalinski, I am just so honored that you were our first guest. Thank you for joining us from your car. Go sell those slot machines, boy. Oh, here we are. All right. Restart.
Sorry, I'm like the biggest challenge fan. I'm like, this is an honor to me.
Okay, so
okay. I haven't seen every season of Survivor, but I have seen every season of The Challenge. So can't wait to watch your finale tonight.
Honey, I love you already. I don't care if you were on Survivor or not.
Same.
Okay, Michelle can ask you a couple questions, or you can, share with us about your time on Survivor, however we want to do this.
Give it to me, Hannah. Tell me your story.
Okay. Well, excuse my robe. I'm really bad at doing anything that makes me slightly uncomfortable, and it's really fucking cold here in Asheville. My name is Hannah. I'm 34. I have a crippling nicotine addiction, which impacted me on the show. I was totally on Survivor, and I made history as the earliest person to quit, which upset millions and millions of people, forcing me off the internet. And now I live in the shadows.
You know what? you and me both live in the shadows. I've done a lot of things on reality TV career that have put me. No, I've won, but I have lost a lot as well. Okay, well, let me tell you something. I've heard about you. That's how far your infamy goes. I didn't know your name. I've never seen your face before. I'm not going to lie to you, but you're beautiful for somebody who, you know, is a quitter. But like, besides that, I think, okay, listen, girl, well, why did you not give up the devil stick? You know?
Okay, so it's not vaping or smoking. It's just these little baby nicotine pouches. And in my mind, okay, so I am not, like I said, I'm not a huge Survivor fan. I'm a huge challenge fan. And I was like, maybe if I go on Survivor, like Michelle, I can meet TJ Lavin and go on the challenge.
You know,
it was just a stepping stone.
Hannah,
it was dream. Just a stepping stone. But so I applied kind of like as a joke, like not thinking I'd ever hear back. 7 months later, I'm in Fiji with Kellie on season 45. And
we had a great conversation in the bathroom.
We did. I couldn't stop pooping. The morning filming started, I could not stop exploding.
I thought we were going to have the poop alliance. Yeah, really upsetting for me.
I didn't make it that far. Anyway.
Well, we kind of blew this one up.
I just hated it. And I told Jeff, you could not pay me $1 million to stay another minute in this hellhole.
You know, I did the math when I was on season 39. I was so uncomfortable. And it was a longer, back in my day, sorry, it was 39 days. Now you guys have it. But here's what I had calculated. If I won $1 million, every minute that I was uncomfortable would come out to about $20. That's like how the ratio works. So if I was uncomfortable, I said, is this minute worth $20? And that's how I got through it. And Hannah, every minute is worth more than that. If you have less days, that's like math, you know, it's a fucking thing. Math.
I wish
not worth it. Not worth it. I need food. I need sleep. I need comfort. I need warmth. I need tribe mates that don't fucking snore.
Yeah. Looking at you over here. Anyway,
it's uncomfortable. I hear you. But Hannah, you were on the show. And you know what? Maybe you left early, but your impact rippled through the Survivor community, so you can.
You are the only person Michelle does know from the new era. Which
so
is
far, you are the only. I'm 1-1 right now.
Couldn't be better, Hannah.
You should be proud. You made an impact. Nice to meet you, Hannah.
Thanks
for coming on. Who knew I had such a face?
Here we go. All right, welcome, Izzy.
Hi.
What's up? Excited for your finale tonight?
Thank you.
Excellent swimming. I'm a big swimmer, so I'm obsessed with the swimming part of the final.
Same. Let me tell you, if I was on land, it wouldn't be going so great for me. But they really said, let's give this girl a leg up. She's been struggling. Let's give her water. Puzzles.
Yeah. Amazing. All right, Michelle, you want to ask Izzy a few questions and see if you can figure out, was she on Survivor?
Izzy, give me like a little package here. Tell me about yourself.
I love that. Okay. I'm 34 years old from New York City. I play the flute for a living. I did not have my flute on Survivor, which was a pain in the ass, but I did try and play like every stick or coconut shell that was out there. It annoyed the shit out of everyone and production, but that's another story. I was like the only visibly queer female on my season. And I like really was like found myself like wanting to get like with an all women's alliance, but
I fallen down that path before.
Yeah, exactly. I was like super bonding with the dudes on my season, so I was like felt stuck between a rock and a hard place, you know. And I had two really close allies that ultimately were closer to each other than my dumbass, and so I barely made jury. I was a little bit of a vote out because of like collateral damage. One of my allies won immunity. Clearly, it's still raw. That's how.
That's a good summation. Yeah.
There you go. That's the summary.
Okay. You have had to have been on the show because I feel the pain and the hurt that comes through only by being wronged by an alliance member where you come second for them.
It's like, motherfucker,
you, Jeremy.
Tight. Yeah, exactly.
I'm talking to you, Jeremy, when you chose Tony over me. Anyways, besides the point. Okay, well, I think that you seem like a big personality. I didn't even know that people were like professional flutists or whatever you do.
Flautist.
Are you a flautist?
Flautist.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Izzy's actually joining us from England right now.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'm in
flautist
London right now. That's right.
Are you flouting out there? Are
I'm
you
not
doing the
flouting,
flute?
But my fiance is a lighting designer, and her opening night of a show
on West End
is happening.
I feel that you are too interesting to not be on TV. So
good read.
You must be a survivor.
Thank you so much.
All right. So, Michelle, you have a great eye for casting. Unfortunately, Izzy was on Big Brother. But she was besties with Serena on Big Brother. So I think, people called her Izzy Field. So she's a real survivor. We've kind of adopted her on our season.
Okay.
But I think she adopted me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're a crazy person for going on that show. And could you not bring your flute there either?
No, I couldn't. 57 days without the flute. It was kind of great, actually.
But, wow. Yeah. I could never do Big Brother. Props to you. You are very interesting, and that was a good read for me. And if you live in New York, I feel
yes, we have to hang.
Deprived that we haven't met yet. And this is just basically, Michelle, let's end the podcast now. This is a meet cute.
We'll go hang out.
I'm catching a plane. Let's go.
I had to go watch the summit to meet you, so it's not, it's a little hard.
Well,
come meet us in Hoboken.
Listen, if we ever find ourselves on the same season, I'm working with you, Izzy. This is my pregame.
Pre-game, Mish. We doing it. Big fan of Kevin from day one.
The third here, right? That is like left out.
Bye, Kelly. Kelly's out. You're my podcast.
All right, it's been fun.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, Izzy, you're the best for joining us from another time zone.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. I suck at this game.
No, we wanted you to suck.
Yeah.
But also, Izzy, I knew it'd be good. Okay, here we go, big man. What up, Q?
What's up?
Hi.
This is Michelle.
Michelle, what's up?
To ask you a few questions, or you can just tell Michelle a little bit about your time on Survivor, and she is going to guess if you are telling the truth or not, because she does not know everyone who's been on the new era.
I was on season 46.
Okay.
And I came up with this thing called the Q skirt.
Okay.
And everybody's wearing it nowadays.
Okay.
I even have my own hats. I even have my own saying. And if you're naughty throughout the year, I might cancel your Christmas. Oh, yes. I cancel everything, baby.
You want to ask him anything?
Where do I begin?
Where do you go from there?
Okay. All right. Give me a Q tip. What would be your tip on how to win Survivor?
Don't get voted out.
Yeah, that's a great tip. And trust-based stuff that I feel very confident.
Make a couple friends.
Yeah.
Come on a podcast.
Come on a podcast.
That's how you do it.
It's a prerequisite. How long did you last, Q?
How long did I last?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think I've left yet. I'm still in a place of survival.
Okay. So I'm going to, you're interesting. So I do feel your casting dream. I feel you might have entered a bit confused, which either means that you are in on the plot or they just didn't they didn't give you enough information about this. So I'm going to say you were not on Survivor.
Wait, before you answer. Before you answer and say this is your final, maybe you should ask me a couple more questions.
Okay, well, I can tell that you like the attention, which is a trait that is very favored by me as a Survivor player. And so I do feel like if you're a man who loves the camera, who loves to stay on, yeah, you kind of have the thing that we all have in common, which is being, a little narcissistic and sociopathic. That's my key trait. Okay. So
ask me something that only a survivor would know.
Okay. What did you use to brush your teeth?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I didn't brush my teeth. There's no need to brush my teeth when I'm outside in the jungle talking to other people with stanky breaths. And
Oh yeah, you are not on the show.
people chewing,
No way.
Listen. People chewing watermelon bubble gum.
I feel confused, and I feel that you could not have been on the show. You can't just run around with stanky breath. You gotta at least get that stick
when
to
you
rub them off.
You do the stick, you do the charcoal thing.
Yeah, you gotta use something. No, you're not gonna run around with cute.
If I'm on Survivor, if I'm out there in the jungle, I'm on Survivor. Why is that important? We're there to win $1 million, right?
Yeah.
Not to have the best smelling breath.
It's a comfort thing.
It's kind of the social game too. You have bad breath.
It's a comfort
social
thing.
game.
All right. My final answer. I don't think you were on. Now I'm not. Were you? Was he on? Tell me. Was he? Are you?
Why don't you reveal Q?
Come on. Of course I was on Survivor.
He was on Survivor. And everything he said was true and everything was not made up. He did create the Q skirt. He said cancel Christmas many times. And he's quite a recognizable face of the new era.
Oh my God. Okay, well, I'll watch you on season 50 then. I'll tune into season 50 and I'll watch it.
I have a newborn kid. I have
Congrats.
a lot going on.
He's a cutie.
I don't see myself doing anything else.
You know what? Then enjoy the time off, enjoy the new baby, and maybe I'll meet you when you come to New York sometime, and I'll buy you a drink for guessing that you weren't on, and also sort of calling you a narcissist.
Well, here's the beauty. You ready? Never drink, never smoke. So you can't buy me a drink, but let me tell you what you can buy me. The best cheesecake that Cheesecake has in New York.
We're
Juniors?
and
it must be gluten-free. I'm gluten-free.
All right. Well, now there's a lot of parameters. All right. This feels now that my gift to you is now being manipulated into what if you want a cheesecake. Well, I offered a drink. So no, I'll get you a cheesecake, but from Cheesecake Factory, because I love that 17-page menu. All right. So
you truly brought everything you wanted you to.
So I appreciate that, Kelly.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You are always entertaining. You brought it.
Cheesecake. I'll have a gluten-free cheesecake waiting for you if you ever come to New York.
Right. And you duped Michelle. Can't ask for more. That was great.
Wow, he's not a big personality at all. Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Kelly, what's good?
Thank you for coming. So you know Michelle probably, but she doesn't know you.
I've never had the pleasure of meeting Michelle in these streets. What's good, Michelle?
Hi, what's good?
So Michelle can ask you a few questions. You can talk about your time on Survivor, and then she will need to guess if you were, in fact, on the new era.
Okay, I'm excited for this. I've been waiting to meet Michelle.
Okay, well, tell me a little about yourself, your Survivor journey.
Okay, my name is Bruce. I'm 35, and if you think Hannah had a sad story on Survivor, you ain't heard nothing yet. Okay,
who's Hannah?
Hannah was on earlier.
She's the one who quit.
Yeah, the one. Damn, you said you was gonna disrespect. I didn't know you was gonna disrespect us like that. Yeah, you said you were gonna disrespect us, but I didn't think you were gonna disrespect us like that. Like I didn't even tell you my sob story yet. You'd already disrespected Hannah.
I'm so sorry. Okay, go on.
All right, relax.
I don't want to open this wound now, Michelle. You're gonna laugh at my.
It's really hard to wrangle, Bruce.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
So sorry.
Okay,
you seem very level-headed and calm. So let me let you lead in here.
I didn't spend a lot of time on Survivor. I actually was medevaced. I had a concussion in the first challenge, and it was a reward challenge. I never even made it to camp. We got ready to start the challenge, and we're running underneath these things, like these bamboo poles, and I immediately cracked my head on the first one underneath it. I'm not even joking. First one out the gate. We had to stop everything. They were going to let me go back to camp and monitor it, but the concussion was so bad that I got removed from the game. And like I said, if you thought Hannah's story was bad, I spent less time on Survivor than her.
Okay, well, your personality is there. You're good at storytelling. I would cast you.
And I'm a little jealous because you already given away your hangout with Izzy. And I'm like, hey, I thought it was all going to be all of us as a family. I didn't even know they were going to be here. These other people, I thought this was about me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I love that behavior. You have been listening, and truly, flattery is the way to my heart. So you seem like you'd be a good social player if you didn't just knock your head on the bamboo, which is, I think,
bamboo is what we're calling it.
I was literally gonna come in and lie about it and be like, no, I made the merge or something. But like honestly, it's the saddest story you could ever hear. And after you hear Hannah's, so here we are.
Yeah.
You had to one up Hannah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be crazy if they brought me back though. That's what I was waiting on, but we'll see.
Okay. So what season were you on?
I was on season 44.
Okay. Well, I think that, God, I do like you. You seem like somebody who could probably con me into an alliance and then with your charm and then kick me to the curb, but you didn't even get time to play.
Yeah. Do you think they would have me on the challenge not having any time? Like I was on Survivor. So like they would have me on the challenge, right?
No, I just don't believe you, Bruce. I really don't. And you know why I don't believe you? Because you said, when you were telling the story, you said, like, I swear, like, honestly, which is a telltale sign of a lie when you like have to oversell it a bit. So I feel like you weren't on Survivor.
But you think we would be friends if I was on Survivor?
We're going to be friends either way, Bruce. You're stuck with me now and forever.
Kellie, so you didn't tell Michelle that you and I played on the same season of Survivor, right?
Actually, I would say I was talking about Bruce and Michelle only 15 minutes ago. So this was really, yes. Where he lives in Rhode Island. That's why we were talking about it.
Yeah, I ended up coming back for season 45, and my number one ally betrayed me, and her name is Kellie. And I got to watch all season, Michelle, as this woman talks so much.
Wow, this is incredible.
Well, I was saying, like, this is my number one ally. Follow her off a cliff, and I did off the cliff. Right there, I go. Whoop.
Yeah, if I said jump, he said how high.
Every time. Sorry.
We've all fallen into that trap before. Okay,
so did you
actually get medevaced?
Yeah,
that actually happened.
I'm the only two-time Survivor player in the new era because they took me out of the game immediately.
Wow.
Okay, anyway, Michelle, your final answer was he was not. Or he was.
God, I suck at this game.
You said no. You were correct. He is not on Survivor.
Okay.
He is cosplaying as Bruce, which I didn't know he was doing.
Yeah.
Wait, his name was not Survivor? No, you're right.
The story I told was true. It's just not me. I'm Chappelle. Hi, how are you?
Oh my God. Did you just change your name at the bottom there? Yes. I did not know. Chappelle, I don't know what you have against applying for these shows, but you really should, because that was incredible and so funny. I did not know that was going to happen.
Can we talk about it? So
10 out of 10.
So here we are, Michelle. I'm sitting here backstage, and they're bringing on Survivor players and Big Brother players. I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? So I had to figure out. You were asking about Coconut Grove and stuff. I'm like, I know these answers, but I don't know if I should know these. Like, so I was like, all right, I'll just pretend to be somebody Kellie knows and catch her off guard too. So,
that was so good. And Chappelle is an RHAP podcaster.
Oh my God.
Vibrant personality. So I knew that he would do a great job, and he really blew away my expectations here.
I feel like I got double hoodwinked is what you sent me through the ringer there, honestly.
But ultimately you got it right.
Ultimately I got it right. And I started really questioning everything about myself throughout this entire process. You had me feeling every emotion one could possibly feel. Regret that I didn't watch anything. I obviously went through the sorrow of not knowing somebody who I just interviewed maybe about 3 or 4 minutes ago. You really put me through the roller coaster of emotions. So.
Wow, Chappelle, you're the best. That was so funny. And Michelle, you really brought it.
The thing is that you're bringing on big personalities. Okay, Izzy was a big personality. She was on Big Brother. So I'm trying to
tricky one.
You hoodwinked me.
Well,
and now I already know that I can't trust my co-host. So the trust has gone out the window episode 1. So that's a confusing tidbit there. And you were in on the plot with Bruce. I mean,
honestly, I just yes-anded that because I'm just going to pretend that this is Bruce.
How very improbable.
It was very funny though, because literally 20 minutes ago, I was talking to you about Bruce and I told you he was like in his late 40s, and then Chappelle said he was 35 and you're like, oh. Yeah.
Well, one thing to learn about me is I barely pay attention. I'll barely listen to anything that you say. So it's really, I heard that, but I didn't fully hear the whole thing. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. We had so much fun today. I hope you did too. Michelle, you really brought it during the game, even though you only had a 2 out of 5. Pretty good.
Oh, that's like a failing score, I think. I didn't go to Yale, but I'm pretty sure.
You can see my face right now.
What is it, a C?
No, oh no. I thought you were good at math. What is 2 out of 5? Actually, producer, it's lower.
Oh, it's a D.
Yeah, we're great at math.
Let's wrap this thing up. Let's put a condom on it. Let's get it out of here.
This has been so fun. And we want to hear from you. If there's anything that you want us to yap about, if we didn't yap enough today, please, you can leave a comment, or our Instagram, the Social Game Pod. You can send us a DM, whatever you're thinking, whatever guests you want to see, games you want us to play. Pretty much nothing is off limits, according to Rob Sestardino himself. So dream big, everybody, with us. And
we have a fun guest coming up next week. Just a little teaser. Her and I have a lot in common.
Yeah, and I'm picking my friends, from the world of Survivor. I have really specific qualities, and winning Survivor is one of them. But sometimes there's more crossover.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun. There's lots to dive into.
My best friend Dee Vidarius will be here.
Yeah, she will be. She's signed up for this
on this storm with us, and it will be an interesting time. You don't want to miss it, right?
You definitely don't want to miss it. Tune in. We'll see you next week.
On the Social Game.
Thank you guys for joining episode 1. It's been a pleasure, my dear.
Oh, another cheers. We haven't done it enough.
We haven't done it enough. Love ya.
Love ya.